Hi Tim, I will show you today on how to create stories and create defects on Azure DevOps boards. So first what you need to do is you go to our project. For example, our project is called Taskbar. You go in there and then you go to boards and you can click on boards here on the left side. So you will notice there's 3 different levels. So we have epics, features, and stories. So epics are big level. So for example, for us, we have epics for authentication, onboarding, dashboard, daily show, goals. So that's the very highest level. And features is, because we do feature level development, it's going to be a bit more granular. So for example, recurring task. So this one will be linked to the epic, the parent, which is task. Okay, so along the way you will know which are the epics and which are the features, but that's one of the features that we need to do for task, for example. And underneath this feature, you notice we have stories as well. This is for us to be more granular on smaller piece of stories that can be done quite fast by one person, and also for us to easily have a manageable workload. Okay, so first let's start with creating a story. So for example, if the level will be mostly epics, feature, and stories. So for example, all those features, so this will be created by the product owner. And the product owner will categorize it as big level. And then afterwards we got features, and in features the product owner will be creating it as well. So let's say if we need to create a story for let's look at task attachment, right? So inside the story, what we'll do is, inside this feature, what we can do is you can add a link here. So existing item is, for example, we created a story or a bug, but haven't linked it up yet. So we can click on existing item, and this will be the child of the feature. Remember, it's epic, feature, and task. And in there you can look at which are the story we want to link it to. Okay, or we can create a new, we can cancel, or we can create a new item. And in there, let's say we are talking about story right now, so we go into a user story, and for example, I want to be able to add attachment under a task. So for us, just to make it easy to read the story, remember we have a desktop view, the mobile web, and the Ionic. So for example, here I will say this is the desktop view. So I put it in semi bracket. And then we can say allow user to attach documents to your task. Okay, you can just click OK here, and it will go to your new user story. So remember, when we do user story is who, what, why. And reason that every user story we do who, what, why, it's for that anyone who wants to pick up this story, they know exactly which user it is, whether we have different personas or specific user, what the story is about, so what the user will be doing as well, and why are we doing it. And it's important to put why as well, so that we can check whether it's really useful, because remember, we are trying to bring value to the user as soon as possible. So why are we doing something? and also for the one to pick it up, we understand why the story is there as well. Okay, so let's take an example. For this one, we say as a, so that is a what? No, as a, I want, which is a what, and so that is a why. So as a user, so we can be more specific if you want to. I want to be able to upload documents in the task, so that, which is a why, I can refer to it, to the document. If I need it, I need them to complete the task. Okay, and then you have acceptance criteria. So I will say first is be able to upload documents like photos, videos, maybe Word documents, Excel, what else can we, PowerPoint if you want to. Okay, so basically the product owner with a team will decide what type of document to send. Okay, and this one is should be available both on create a task, and so maybe I put create and edit a task. Okay, and later on what we do, we can add our link to our UX, but this is just a sample, so I won't add any link. Story points will be estimated by the team, so I'll leave it empty. Priority, so for me this is a priority 3 because you can still work on tasks without documents for now. And this value is really a business value because it helps the user. If it is a technical work, then you put architecture value. Okay, and then so as you can see, this is already related to the parent, so this is what we need to do. Beginning is new, so this is how we create a story. Okay, so now you see it's already linked to the task. So the higher level is task, then it's linked to, so that's your story, which is the child, because the feature is task attachment. Okay, so that's for user story. And now if you want to create a defect, so let's say for example there's a defect on so defect can be attached to anything, right? So it can be attached to the story. So the story is the tester, once we move it to in test, we can find a defect, or can be attached to a feature. If you find a defect not related to a story but happen later, you can create it on the feature level, or if the features are not available, you can go straight to the parent level, which is the epic. So let's say now I found out there was a defect on, okay, maybe we do an epic level. It's all standard way of doing. So for example, we created a new registration and we find a defect there. So I can open my authentication. I can add a link. I can add a new item, and the child will be a bug. Okay. And let's say I found it on the desktop view. And the defect is when the user refreshes the set password link, the page does not load properly. So this is just an example, right? Okay, so that's a bug. And in there, so you put your repro steps. So steps to reproduce. And then you can put it as number 1 is register a new user in the sign up page. 2 is receive a confirmation email. Receive a confirmation email. Click on the link in the confirmation email. Set password page opens. Refresh the set password page. The page shows a blank screen. So expected behavior, the page expected behavior, the page should still show the set password information. And here system info, you can put this was on Chrome, maybe on Mac OS, right? So any information about it. And priority, so I would say this is a free, because priority for someone for this to happen is quite low, and the severity is high, because if someone does it, they can't move forward and they might not know that they have to go back to the email and click the link again. And activity can be during testing phase, and the rest will be filled up by the developer. And then you save it, or if you want, you can add screenshots here as well. Add a link. There's a history, so add a screenshot attachment here. Okay, and then you add tags. So for us, we're gonna put it, this is a desktop problem. That should be enough. If you want, we can go crazy as well, saying this is part of authentication, but it's already linked to the parent, so we don't have to go that crazy. And I forgot to say to add tags in the story as well. So it's good to put the tag here. So if you notice, I already put mobile web, Ionic, or is a UX problem, or is a documentation problem. So we're gonna add more tags there to make it easier to understand what is it about. But as workaround, we also put the desktop in the square there. And then you save and close. Here you go, the defect is here. Then in future, when I open, so when you go in there, you close it. So you notice under stories here, so defect and stories are the same level. So we're gonna have a new defect I just created here. And from there, I can assign it to the right person. Okay, all right. So this is for creating stories and creating defects. Thank you.